All right, everybody. I believe we are streaming live. I always do this. Let me log out of Facebook so we don't have that back and forth, back and forth. Awesome. Almost out of here. All right. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. This is Sister Talk. It's
Hey.
another Friday. Thank God we made it. Thank God we made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Kelly, I would love for you to do the honors.
Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for joining in with Sister Talk with Kelly and Michelle. Today we have a beautiful, wonderful, let me just tell y'all something about her. So I don't wear makeup. And we had Mama D had us on set, you know, with this with the Dunamis talk show and stuff. And when I tell you that this woman here, Miss Allison, transformed my whole look, like I didn't even recognize who I was. And when I posted it and sent my picture to friends, they were like, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful." So Allison, thank you so much. So we have Allison with us today, and our topic is, should married men or married women have single friends of the opposite sex? So, or just friends, period, of the opposite sex. So we're gonna open up with Allison. What do you think? You know, you're a little younger than us, and you know the dating scene. What's the dating scene like now? Like I would be afraid. I don't know if I was single. I don't know, Michelle.
I'm afraid now.
I'm afraid.
I don't want to date now. I'm kind of like, I'm fine. Like I was talking to coworkers about the dating scene, and they're, you know, 55 and stuff, and they're trying to date, and they think it's hard for them. And I'm like, no, it's hard for my age, because you got the 30-year-olds who either they want to stay on their mama's couch and play video games all day, or you got the 30-year-olds who got a woman and baby mamas, and they married, but they still want to live a single life. So it's like, you know, for me, I hate to say it, but I kind of gave up on my generation. Like, I don't know. Y'all crazy. So I'm fine with it being single. But no, this generation, dating, it really sucks. But as far as, I do have friends who are married, males and females, and not even friends who are married, friends that are in relationships. Some of my friends, I respect their relationship more than they respect their own. And maybe that is, you know, in a sense, how I was raised and my healing and stuff like that. But it's just more so I tell them, you know, you have a man, focus on him. You have kids, focus on them. Because when or if Allison gets a man, I'm not going to be a friend. I'm going to be focusing on them, you know. But right now, I'm single, so I can do that. But I think even if my friends that are in relationships, you keep that boundary. And a lot of people, because I'm single, so with me being single and I have male friends who are in relationships, you know, even now the thing is their woman don't like me, then that's when it's cut off, because I'm not going to let that woman feel insecure about me unless she's woman enough. And in my generation, a lot of women are insecure where I do not have time. So my male friends, I have cut off relationships with them, not even meeting their girlfriend, but because women of this generation is insecure. So I'm not even going to bother to even get to involve myself in that, you know, and I know me, I know what I carry. So
when you say they're insecure, what exactly are they, how are they coming? Are they just like, you know, giving him a hard time, giving you a hard time?
I would say give him more so, not even him, give me a hard time, because they think because I'm single, I want their man per se.
Okay.
And I don't want your man. If I want him, then I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. If I wanted him, I would have already had him.
Game is game.
But I don't want him. That's why he's a friend. You know, that friend zone. And for me, being a single woman, I'm not desperate. I know what I want and I know who I am and in Christ, and he is not it. That's why he's a friend. But a lot of women don't understand that because they're, and it's not even the men that's insecure. They're insecure, whereas I want that my man is all to myself.
Right.
So I let them keep their man, you know, and I would sit here by myself, eating popcorn and drinking wine.
Now, do you think it's advantageous sometimes to have friends in relationships? I mean, because, you know, when you talk about couples who are, you know, like, for instance, if you're dating or even if you're married, you know, you want to have that closeness with your spouse. But a lot of times if you have issues or things that are disruptive, do you think that it's okay for them to talk to their friend, or should they talk to somebody outside of the relationship? I mean, you know, and then the other part of this question is, why do you think that some of the women are, or men are insecure? Like, I mean, if you're just dating as opposed to being married.
I would say because they're not secure with themselves. It's a difference, even in dating, relationships, marriage, whatever you call it. You got to make your spouse feel secure that they are it. And that's what I tell my friends. You know, I think having well-rounded friends, males and females, are good for you, because technically in this world we don't just, because I'm a female I have female friends.
Correct.
I'm a male I have male friends. I mean, it's a reason why it's males and females.
Right.
So, but like I said, it's all the respect and the boundaries behind it. And even if they do go to, like, I have a male best friend and he is my best friend, but me and him have a history, don't get me wrong. So when I'm in a relationship, I tell the guy that I'm with, I have a male best friend, we do have a history. Are you comfortable with that? If he's not comfortable with that and that's the person that I want to be with, then in a sense I have to let that male friend go. But you know, I have not let it go because he's jealous and he wants to keep me to himself, but let it go out of respect of my relationship. And this is what I want to do, and I want to be with this person. You know, not saying I don't love, and if that's my real friend, because out of my relationships, me and him both have been in other relationships, and he'll call me like, look, I just broke up with her, this and that, I need my friend. I'm like, okay, I'm here for you. You know, so if he's a friend, no matter what the situation is, you're there. And I tell him, work it out with her. Go be with her. Go spend time with her. But not a lot of women and men are like that because they're insecure with themselves, or they're in a sense lonely.
Okay.
I think we've been made to feel different when we think this way, because surprisingly we did a survey and Connie says hey, Matilda says hand claps, Allison. We did a survey in Mighty Christian Women, and I was really surprised. Every woman said that yes, married men, married women can have a friend in the opposite sex. I honestly was shocked because I thought just the term Christian women, you know, that we were going to get all type of like, no, it's the devil. Ooh. To the contrary, the women were very real and to the point. You know, Connie was like, yeah, as long as I know your friend. So if her husband has a friend, as long as I know your friend and you didn't just meet this friend while we was married, cool. And another woman was like, yes, she's seen some toxicity. Matilda was like, she's seen like her dad having friends and she's seen the toxic side of that too. And we had one person who just said, yes, it's okay, depending on the situation. So it's like, I think for us, like you were saying, Allison, how you think, especially as a young person, is very strange because we have the stigma, especially for young people, that y'all just out there bad anyway. Y'all don't like commitment or nothing like that. But you're really speaking from your generation, the contrary. You know, you all really do value friendship and relationships, because it sounds to me that you're coaching the men on how to be better for their women.
Yeah, and that's
your friend.
And I told my best friend that, because me and him, you know, stopped talking when he was with his son's mother and stuff like that. And I said, I done told him, I was like, look, I don't want to. Now, if anything, it'll benefit her to get to know me, because I tell her how to keep them, you know, but you know, that's her. But not a lot of women want to, and even my friends, boyfriends or whatever, I have their number, but I don't never save it in my phone, or I reach out to her and I tell her, this is what it is, you know, or this is, so I make sure I keep that woman involved.
Exactly.
In his relationship, so she won't feel inadequate about who she is, what she wants, or anything. And I make it a point for me to get to know her. I do make it a point for me to get to know her. Now, I will stay out. I'm not a third wheel, so I do stay out of relationships. That's not me.
And you said something real key too, Allison. You know, you talk about boundaries. You know, and even if the girlfriend is saying, okay, you know, it's cool, you know, Allison is your friend and I'll be your friend, but you do have to set up boundaries. So give us a little bit about what you mean when you say boundaries. Like what would be a boundary for you?
So a boundary is, okay, so for me and him, I'm going to use both sexes as examples. So if I have a male friend, my boundary with him is I won't go nowhere by myself with him. It's just me and him. Unless, you know, he's like, I want a surprise for her or something, you know, but just me and him by ourselves hanging out late at night, I won't do that. I won't go out and do that. My female friends, boundaries in relationship, I'm not a third wheel. I'm not going to be there. Or even when we go out on an evening night out, you know, you have to be home at a certain time. You know, even though they're like, well, I can stay out all night. No. You got a man. You have to be at home at a certain time. I can stay out all night.
Right.
I'm single if I wanted to, but you can't. And I find a lot of, and to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of friends. So because of, I guess, me being 30 in the way I think right now, I don't have a lot of friends. So if I was to have a friend, they more so look at me like, you know, Allison, really? Why do you respect? You supposed to keep me out? And it's like, no, I'm not going to be the bad guy. What are our relationships? So that's what I mean by boundaries, is you, in a sense, you to respect their relationship as if it was your own.
Now, what about same-sex friends? Let's talk about that. Same-sex. Like, what are the boundaries with same-sex? Like, even though, you know, your best friend is a female, what are the boundaries in terms of that? Like, how much do you tell your best friend? How much should you share with your best friend about your relationship? You know, because, you know, a lot of times we have best friends, and, you know, when we start dating or we get married, you know, we're having conversations, we're telling them about things that are happening. So what's your take on that? How much is too much to share with your best friend who's the same sex?
Well, I don't discuss their bedroom matters. What y'all do in the bed is what y'all do in the bed. Now, if I was married and I had my own thing or whatever, then, you know, but I don't discuss that. So same sex, what you do in the bedroom is what you do in the bedroom. I mean, if we joke around, we joke around, you know. And then also I do keep it where, if, let's say my friend is having an issue with her boyfriend or husband or whatever, I'd let her know, this is what you do. Go work that out. It has nothing. I basically put her back in the face of him, you know, because in a sense, I know what it's like to, as a single woman, not even a single woman, as a single mother, not even a mother, as a single parent, because it's the difference between being a single parent and a single mother.
Amen.
So being a single parent is, I know, and I hear a lot of my friends who are in relationships, and like, I'm ready to be a single parent. Like, no, go back. Because I promise you, this single parent stuff, it ain't what it look. I mean, granted, I ain't got no man around here, but then I don't have nobody to talk to either. So, you know, you need to go back to that. And so it's just more so my boundaries, or even if y'all on a date, don't call me and ask me to join y'all with that date, because I'm not gonna join you. You know, so that's more so boundaries.
You know what? We have some comments, and one comment was that some men want their cake and they want their ice cream too. So the cake is the friend and the ice cream is their woman. What do you all think about that? Going back to women and men having same-sex friends when they're married. You know, some men, according to this person, seems like they want to take advantage. They want their woman, then they want their friend. How do you all handle? And I could just be transparent. I have a situation, or had a situation, where the man wanted me and his mistress. You know what I'm saying? And his whomever. So yeah, there are some guys who want their cake and eat it too. In that situation, how would you handle that when you know that man wants everything? Cake, cherry, nuts, extra syrup. Seriously.
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream. All of it.
It's kind of like what my mother say. A man is going to do what you allow him to do.
That's true.
A woman is going to do what you allow her to do.
Right.
So it's more so setting your standards. Like, bruh, if you like, okay, me being a hairstylist and makeup artist, and I used to, somebody, I forgot who it was, made fun of me about it. But I told the last guy I was with, I said, who do you want? Do you want Becky today? I could switch my wig on the blind. Do you want Ruby? I can switch my hair to red. Which one? I got wigs to fit all what you need. I can put on makeup, all what you want, what you need.
Right,
you know?
right.
But if you don't want that, let me know.
Right. And I think being married, I think that just like Allison said, that, you know, there has to be a drawn line, you know, and again, you know, with the whole understanding your greatness, you know, what we learn is to develop, we get healing and we begin to develop this sense of me, basically. And so, you know, you have to draw the line. Now, you know, if it's just a case of conversation and stuff like that, you know, that's one thing. But when you start talking about the intimate part, then you know, you need to reconsider and start drawing the line and say, hey, buddy, you know, look, you know, she's, you know, it's too close. You know, you can't have me and her, you know, and of course, you know, most of the grounds for divorce is adultery, and I would hope that wouldn't happen. But you know, it's all about boundaries again, you know, and it's like either you need to figure out what it is you're going to do. But if it takes too long, you know, what do? You know, do you opt out, or do you fight? And we are women who don't fight, we war. So now we're gonna start praying. So I don't know if I answered her question, but he can't have his cake and eat it too. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
You know what, you said something, Allison, and it goes back to what you're talking about, Kelly. You said with your friend, you all have a history. So I'm gonna ask this question to everybody who's listening: Rhonda, Lynn, Connie, everybody who's on, Meredith. Most of my male friends, not most of them, quite a few of them, I have a history with them, but we are so tight. We are cool. And when they do get in relationships, I leave them alone, or we've not messed around in years. And I would, like Allison, I respect their relationship. We don't go out. We don't talk pretty much unless they say, hey, Michelle, how you doing? I'm not trying to be in their presence or anything. But let me flip that. Women, Mighty Christian, Kelly and Allison, what if your man came to you and said, this is my friend, we have a history, but I still want her to be friends, and how are you gonna handle that?
In a sense, I mean, I've had that happen to me before, and I'm fine with it. I was fine with it personally. I mean, as long as, like I said, that boundary, get to know her, she respected or whatever. But she wasn't. Even though that was his friend and I was a girlfriend, she wasn't fine with it because she had an ulterior motive behind it. And as a woman, and I also had that. I had that in 2 relationships, I think. And I think the other one, I was fine with it. But I did tell, and I let him know that she has an ulterior motive. This is what she wants. Because I feel like, other women can, or just other people can see other things that you can't see. And I told him, I said, this is what she wants. This is her ulterior motive. And he was like, no, no, no. And long story short, they end up getting a baby on me. So, that you already know where that went. But
yeah, your instinct already said. Connie said she'd have to meet the young lady. If her husband came and said, me and this lady had a relationship, we friends, and she, Connie said, I got to.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I met her, and she just didn't like me, and I was like, I'm fine with it. You can. Here's my number. Call me whenever. Right. No, they went on their merry way. They happily ever after.
So let me answer sisterly, and then I'll answer spiritually.
Okay.
So my husband does have a best friend, and they do have history, and they've been friends over 40 years, maybe 30. And when I came into the relationship, we established a friendship, but there was nothing. Okay, let me say this. There's nothing that I know of or that I even feel in my spirit that's anything more than friendship.
Between him and her.
Between him and her.
Okay.
Now, she'll call him or he'll call her, and, they talk and they have conversations and stuff like that. So, there's been no issues in that. But let me come back on the spiritual side. Because of who we are as women, and we know the power we possess as dunamis. When you begin to pray, God starts to move things out of the way and people out of the way. So I'm gonna go back to the cake and eat it too. So even if your husband or your significant other or the guy that you're dating or what have you, now let me go back to the dating. If this is the man that God has for you, even if it isn't, because Mama D says we have assignments.
Yeah.
But if this is not the man for you, when you begin to pray, him and that woman gonna disappear. But if you're in a marriage and you begin to pray and he wants his cake and eat it too, God's gonna begin to remove her from the entire situation.
Oh yeah, and I've seen that happen, and I even do that with guys that I date. I pray first of all, okay, God is here, but because I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time, But I mean, so I do agree with that, with praying and everything, and that's why, in a sense, you do have to meet her, because you do have to. Once you see someone and someone's in your presence,
right?
Not only do you pray, but you're able to see their motives and see.
They're discerning. You can discern better.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people I don't want to meet them over the phone or whatever. I want to see them face to face, because if I see you face to face, I get a better discernment of your affects, who you are, how you are, and stuff like that. And if she's a friend, she's meant to test the time,
Exactly.
And she don't have a problem having a conversation with you every now and then.
And if she does, first red flag.
Yes.
Thank you. Because technically, I mean, one thing women have to understand and people have to understand is, first of all, law of attraction is already there. So that is, a male is going to attract a woman that he's, attracted to. So that I already know, if this is your female friend, this is what you like. Law of attraction is already there. But it's more so with her being in your presence, what's her motives and, what you discern from being around her. So
we have a question, you all. Very good question. It says, how do you know if a person is for you, but the man doesn't see it? So how do you know if this man is for you, but the man doesn't see it? So I'm asking, maybe is he keeping you in the friend zone and you know that he's been assigned as your husband? How have you all handled that? You believe in your heart that man, and I can talk to you, Kelly, because you're married. How do you know that man is for you? And this may not be your situation, but I'm asking both of you all, for this young lady, how do you know if the man is for you, but he just doesn't see it? What do you do about that?
Go ahead, Allison.
You know what? Honestly, I okay, not to say my mother's not right, pray for him. Even though I said I'm delaying the process.
I heard that last week. That was funny to me.
I am, I swear, I still am. I gotta pray about it. But you know, I okay, recently, I met somebody and it's like, okay, I know he's it. Like, I mean, he has everything. But you know what? Honestly, the hardest thing that it was for me to do was to let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If it's, if you know that he's it, and you know, don't rush the process.
Right.
Just let it go. I mean, it's in our generation what we want is microwave results, and that's not how things happen. So, I mean, everything don't taste good in the microwave. I don't like leftovers like that. So I like everything put back in the
Fresh.
oven.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's like for me, even though it's hard, it was hard because I'm like, okay, I know that he is it. I know, and me, I don't like or date too much of anybody and anything like that. So for me, I know that he's it, and I know that he's the one. Okay, God, that's you. That's in your hands. I let it go. I mean, it's hard, but I in a sense, if it's meant to be, it'll come back around. If not, God will prepare somebody else.
You put right.
My situation was different. My husband pursued me.
Okay.
I think he wanted me more than I wanted him. Mm-hmm. So, but I knew that he was, and you know, not because at that time we were equally yoked. Neither one of us knew God. So, you know, it was kind of like he pursued me. I already had 2 kids. I knew this man would keep a job. And that was kind of my basic focus right there. I mean, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
I ain't mad at you.
And so he was one of them brothers. He didn't care about working at McDonald's. He'll work at McDonald's to provide for his family because that's what his father was like. Mm-hmm. You know, so my advice to women is kind of on the same lines as Allison. You know, you feel in your heart that this is the right guy, but he's not doing the things that you think he should be doing. Mm-hmm. You know, and so sometimes you have to let go to get back.
Yes, you do.
So, you know, sometimes you have to step away in order for God to work. Because there may be some things that he's got to complete in him before he gives them to you, or this may not even be the guy. Because, you know, we as women, we lead with we're led with our hearts. Mm-hmm. You know, we're so full of feelings. I'm gonna have to ask God when I get home, like, why did you do that to us? But you know, we're so full of feelings that, you know, and then we can be misled sometimes. You know, dude may not be into me at all, but he puts on my coat.
He says good morning.
And I'm instantly thinking, oh yeah, or he texts me, because now we're in the texting industry, you know, technology, but he texts me good morning. And it could just simply him wanting to be a friend, you know, but I done took it to another level. Mm-hmm. And so we feel like we're being led on, but really he's just being who he is. Mm-hmm. And so if he's not into you, move on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them, they stuck. And I've had friends who are like, no, he's it, and this is what I want. And it's like, you're rushing the process. And then
you're playing God.
Yes.
You're playing God with your heart. And so what I'm hearing you two say is really just allow God. You know, we can be led with our heart and it could lead us down a path. Whether he's with us or not with us, it's still up to God. Give it up to him and just pull back, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
And you're saying, Allison, if he's there, he's there. If he's not, he's not. But trust and believe, my sister who wrote that question, as beautiful as you are, inside and out, God has somebody for you. So you don't have to fret. You don't even have to worry about all of that. He got something for you. He got somebody for you. That's why healing is important. Mm-hmm. I would admonish all of us on this line to continue to pursue emotional healing, because whether the person's married, not married, into you, not into you. If we're not in touch with our emotions and healing in our emotions, our mind can take us every which way.
Mhm.
And it can mess us up, our
Yeah.
relationships and everything. So thank you for the question. Thank you very, very much. And you know that God has somebody for you, sister. For real,
Yeah.
for real.
And patience is a virtue, because even though I'm 30, I could be married already, but I know that they're not it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where discernment come from. I could be married. I could have about a couple husbands, but I know that they're not it for me. So why would even waste my time?
Mm-hmm. And the same thing for being married too, Michelle. You know, sometimes just being mighty Christian women, there are so many women who are married who are unhappy, whose husbands don't show them love. And
Mm-hmm.
again, it's the same thing. You know, be patient, continue following God's word on what he wants you to do as a wife, you know, and do what you're supposed to do. And watch God bring that thing back full circle, and that man will love you more than ever before.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, ladies, it is about time for us to wrap it up. I want to thank all of you all who had your questions, your comments, your amens, encouraging us. All three of us are members of the Understanding Your Greatness coaching program. I think we're all in 3 different groups. We have various groups. It is an amazing program. We're going to always speak about it because that's where we come from. Whatever knowledge that you hear Allison speaking at her young age, her mom is Dunamis D. It was from the womb. And now she's continuing to be cultivated and understand your greatness. The knowledge that Kelly has, you know, this is a lot of wisdom that she had, but it's being cultivated through understanding your greatness. Whatever foolishness you hear coming out of my mouth, I'm being refined and cultivated through understanding your greatness coaching program, all my little whatevers, because I have to continue to discover that woman, and I'm not ashamed. You know, I have done wrong and do wrong, but I know at the end of the day, I'm in a process of not only healing, but understanding my greatness. So we can't even come on here like we're perfect, but this is sister talk. This is where we come and we really get into some intense conversations. Allison, before we leave, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything you want to say before we leave?
I mean, just think. I mean, I look a hot mess right now. So this would busy or work, busy life do to you. But no, I just thank you for letting me be on here and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Miss Kelly?
Once again, you know, understanding your greatness is just what it says. Understanding your greatness. We were created for greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just following the healing yellow brick road.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding your greatness. Sign up if you have not done so. I encourage you to do it now. Spots are going quickly. Not sure which group Mama D is on, but I do know that it's rapid. And when I tell you that, and you know, the 3 of us are not fully healed, but we're working towards kingdom work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you about the transformation of some of the women that are in the groups, just by watching their changes, it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. So, and Sister Talk and some of the other platforms that Mama D has created, catch them, you know, and watch them and see exactly the manifestation of God in each and every platform.
Historically speaking, men and women in our culture have had a history of unity. Whether you're married or not married, we've had a history of trust and unity. That was broken during our enslavement. That was broken through the oppression that we still experience today. So we have been made not to trust one another. We have been made not to believe in one another. We have really been made to hurt one another. And that is not who we are. That is not our lifeline. That is not the way in which we should be. So that healing is important. being not only in God's word, but knowing his word and knowing how to apply it with specificity for your life is key. And that's what we all have been learning and understanding your greatness. And even the workshops, everything that we do, it's for a purpose. So I just admonish you, there's nothing wrong with, as far as all of us are concerned, having a friend, whether you're married or not, of the opposite sex, because it's about trust and it's about who you are as a woman. Do you really trust yourself? Get everybody else. And so I thank everybody. We have a bit.ly, bit.ly/D group coaching. And we have that in there. It's a link. Check it out. Really understand what we're talking about. We are here every Friday at 6:30. We are going to see you again. And Allison, we would love to have you back very, very, very soon. You have a lot of great wisdom. We love you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sister Talk. Again, Andrea, Lynn, Connie, Rhonda, who else? Kimberly. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Meredith, and everybody. Matilda, who tuned in. We love you. Continue to support. And you, all of the Understand Your Greatness women, we're coming after you next. We're going to have you on again and again and again and very soon. You all, we love you. We'll see you next week. And before one thing we didn't do, Dunamis D, thank you so much for allowing us to be on your platform. This name is D Collins, not Michelle Obasi. That means we're on her platform, on her account. So we own everything of hers. And I almost got off without thanking her. And she would have cussed us out real nice.
Oh, yeah.
No, she wouldn't have did that. But, you know, thank you so very much for allowing us not only to be a part of your program, because it is a program. Not everybody is able to get in it, honestly. And we're not exclusive. We're not the little mean cheerleaders, but you got to have a level of healing and want to have healing and maturity. And then also thank you for allowing us to have Sister Talk and invite other women on. So thank you, Dunamis D, Pastor D, Mama D, as everybody knows you. And we love you. We appreciate you. And prayerfully, you'll let us back on next week.
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah? Okay. Have a good one, you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Love you guys.
Bye, Allison. Bye, Michelle.
Bye.